world history be like? We've got Europe, Asia, and North America. How much coastline we could surround with the Great Wall of China, the Great Wall of Europe. I asked random Germans on the street to point to Germany on the map. How are you living in Germany but you don't know where Germany is? What? Pears grown in Argentina and packed in Thailand, then sold in America. That is a crazy journey for just some pears. The Pacific Ocean is so vast, it could hold 16 Polands. I have a plan. You want to switch Italy and Florida? Americans were asked to locate United Kingdom on a world map. They're not wrong, their timing is just a little off. I like how some people just decided to put it in the ocean. Maybe they want us to drown. Imagine being dragged into a world war for the 3rd time in a row because something happened in this circle again. How Earth will look like with current international borders in 250 million years. Yes, Scotland is finally free of the English. Why does England look like that? Looks pathetic. Imagine how cheap merch shipping must have been on Pangaea. I wish we kept it. Kind of feels a bit scary with that much water around, you know? Sweden, I want a bridge. Denmark, I want a tunnel. This is the world's longest continuous road that a person can walk on. There is a white couple somewhere ready to tackle this. Gambia, I want to make new friends. Senegal, no new friends for you. This machine is useless. They're looking for treasure, gold coins, treasure chest, the blue. Are you a pirate? Where can I buy a gun in America? There are gun stores everywhere. What the Great Pyramid of Giza would have looked like when it was first built. Damn, it was cool. Looked beautiful. Love to slide down from the very tip. You know what I mean? If Poland versus Mexico was broadcasted on Netflix, when someone asks why history is so Eurocentric, countries that have been under European control, most countries. Fish map, it's a fish map. This is what fishies have in their home. When a map maker didn't know what was out there, she says, he might just plop some creature into the map to signify. I don't know what's here, but it could very well be a dangerous... Sorry mate, you're gonna die from a creature, but we're not sure what creature, but it could be this thing. This is your monthly reminder that 145 million people live on this island. What the hell kind of typhoon is some freaky typhoon? Don't get anywhere near me with that thing. If you had to get rid of one European country, which would it be? As an Englishman, I'm obliged to say France. As a Belgian, France. As a German, France. As a Spaniard, France. As a Dutchman, France. As an Italian, France. Territories of modern Ghana. Territories of Ghana Empire. What the hell happened here? Map of the United States if it were colonized by Britain. You're approaching new levels of terrible. Bravo. Tornado warning continues for St. John the Baptist Parish, LA. Population of 2? Just text them, bro. Drop them a call. If you ever feel useless, remember that Mongolia has a navy. Meanwhile, the Mongolians, the ancient Egyptians did not build their monuments randomly. Coincidence? I think not. Euros give Americans crap for not knowing geography. But how many of these states do you know? Oh yes, I know the state of McDonald's. Map of Roman air bases in 2nd century AD. People often think China is huge, but it's actually smaller than Florida. If I stop posting, you know what's happened. Send help. Most hated countries. Would love to see some of these countries try to mess with US. You're not helping America's image with that statement. You're telling me Americans don't know what country this is? Really? Gator population in the United States. We are expanding north. By 2025, there will be gators in Maine. Mark my words. Europe at night. Like how Scotland is just off. Map of Europe, but the longer you look, the more you realize how messed up it is. What's going on with the UK? What even goes on here? You're a British man. It's like a 4-hour drive. Just go find out. 4 hours is a long drive. Map of Europe 13 million years ago. Did your country exist 3 million years ago? Mine did not. I've spent years gathering this information and it's finally ready. Vampire Europe versus Werewolf Europe. I love being a vampire. I love blood. Sea level rise 60 meters. Imagine God does this. I finally figured out how we can get rid of Florida. As long as you live in the Gainesville rhombus, you'll be just fine. Went to walk my dog and I ended up in an AI generated landscape. Looks like a video game from the early 2000s. Flag of Ukraine, but I added an elephant because I like elephants and God likes elephants. I love elephants. They're so compassionate. A world map without countries with over 100 million people. I suffered this, now you have to. Chile, rolled up for convenience. Dried chili. This is cruel and not funny. Chile only uses this position when defending itself from predators. Whoever took this photo obviously put Chile in a stressful situation for likes and follows. Please stop liking this. It's an error. My wife's AirPods are stopped in the hotel town, but it's an error, right? What? No. This is how it's always looked. Why don't airplane pilots fly in a straight line? Are they stupid? Swedish colonial empire. You know, I'm something of a colonizer myself. Most unserious generation ever. Getting mocked by a hurricane. Calling the USA America. What's an incredibly American thing that Americans don't realize is very American? This is America, and this is USA. Which of the 10 largest cities by population is closest to you? Cairo? This is what a terraformed Mars would look like. No way. Looks too blue. I had a dream last night that there was a massive global conspiracy hiding the fact that the United States was actually shaped like this. Top Texas, secret China. Florida, secret Florida. Real Florida. Is Florida that important? USA if water levels rose 800 meters. So most people would be cooked. Comparing the Roman Empire's size at its peak within the USA, America if it was good. Hidden flags in South Africa. It's got Italy, Monaco, Hungary, Indonesia, and Sierra Leone. Like if you miss Pangaea. I miss it so much. So much. Do Americans really know nothing about Canada? Americans, try naming 5 Canadian cities, please. London, Paris, Dublin, Berlin, Madrid. Easy. Geography. Bosnia haven't coast. Great English. Sorry for my English. It's my 5th language, and it's a very stupid language. America after each world war. Europe after each world war. Combat now. They're shooting. Get down. Combat 200 years ago. Why aren't we shooting back? It's their turn, idiot. A flag map of Europe, but each flag is determined on which country they share the shortest land border with. Earth tour without leaving France. Is there a name for the island next to Britain? Those would be the uncivilized lands. Proper English name pending subdualan royal accent.
Those would be the uncivilized lands.
US voters were asked to identify Ukraine on the map. Why are there so many dots in the water? Like, have they never seen a world map? 60% of the population of Iceland lives in this red area. What if instead of democracy, we had freakocracy? And instead of voting, whoever touched the most people became the leader. Russia didn't consider beer to be alcohol until 2011. It was previously classified as a soft drink. Alcohol for Russian people is straight vodka. Countries that celebrate independence from Poland. What if Britain sold Canada to the US in 1870? Mate who works all over Europe just posted this to our group chat. The airports are in a different place completely. Or they've got a massive head. 40% of the Greek population lives in the red area. GPS data from thousands of Dutch cars during the summer holidays. Isn't this information supposed to be private? I guess it is anonymous, so. Shrek Republic. Can't believe Shrek's your daddy? Are you green? Accurate. Axe nice is nice. Axe mean is nice. Axe mean is mean. Axe nice is mean. Australians when they can't believe something. No way. Okay, I have the worst hear me out imaginable. What? Person in my gas station talking to someone on the phone. We're in Ohio. Me knowing we're in Utah. We're here. This is Ohio. So that person was lying to someone over the phone then. Because I don't think anyone gets confused like that. Global obesity rates compared to America. Countries with lower obesity rates. USA. Countries with higher obesity rates. No data. So Greenland could have the most obese people in the world. Half of Australia live in the dark blue, and the other half live underground. Haunted houses by state. Ohio, are you okay? Isn't Ohio mostly like cornfields and it's just empty? Of course they want to feel some sort of emotion. What's your favorite fictional country? Australia is pretty cool. It's a bit too scary though. Rather go to Narnia. The Branded Line, a definition from the 1980s dividing the world into the wealthy north and the poor south. Welcome to Istanbul, where I work in Asia and live in Europe. Concentrations of castles in Europe. I thought UK had more castles, but I guess not, especially in Scotland. You can fit the entirety of Poland into Texas and still be able to drive around it. The Texas Amobia absorbs yet another unsuspecting Eastern European country. This is what happened to Yugoslavia. Norwegian flag taken down in US town after being confused for Confederate banner. Greeks 500 BC. My civilization is the most advanced in the world. 2020. I'm broke. Size comparison of Texas and Europe. We're driving 8 hours isn't a big deal. Yeah, but it's much easier to drive 8 hours in Texas than it is in Europe. The roads are different. Bangladesh has the same population as territories in the Green. The Green Sahara, 11,000 to 5,000 years ago. Greenland on maps, and Greenland's real size? I thought Greenland was massive. District 3 would straight up run it. District 3 famously tried to run it a while back, and it did not work out so well. Countries in blue have equal population with the countries in red. World map, but I really hate peninsulas. Does your county have McDonald's? Some places don't have a McDonald's. I assume those places which don't have a McDonald's is just like mostly empty though, right? On a world map, Greenland and Africa may seem identical, but in reality, Africa is 14 times bigger than Greenland. My friend and I were slam dunk drunk and made up new names for states. I present to you the United Staples of America. T-Rex Fossil Discovery Range. Everywhere bet the UK, huh? The flag of Sweden. If Jesus died in an... I'm not sure why this would change the flag. What are the worst accents you've ever heard? In 5th and 6th grade, this was in the 70s, my best friend had a Greek father, a British mother, and spent the first 8 years of his life growing up in the Bronx. Never heard anything like it before or since. The other day, a French guy asked me if I was from Colombia. I told him Mexico, and he said, close enough. This is how wrong he was. How many spouses must be present at wedding for marriage to be valid? Mutuals, we have all just gotten legally married in Montana. Has anyone else noticed how Wales looks like a man in a hat, pointing accusingly at Waterford? They're sending me here tomorrow. Death pool discovered at the bottom of the sea that kills everything immediately. A phone map of Ireland. When you're not involved in World War II, but still get $250 million from the Marshall Plan. Wasn't expecting that reaction, but okay. Countries that Simpsons have... Wait, they visited the UK? Where is this episode? Build your own submarines. Buy your submarines from other countries. Buy your submarines with debt you are unlikely to repay. Let your allies dock their submarines in your base and then steal them. Isle Royale, the largest island on Lake Superior, has a lake which has an island, which has a pond, which has a boulder. So the boulder becomes the largest island in the largest lake on the largest island in the largest lake on the largest island in the largest lake in the world. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the moon landing than she did to the building of the Great Pyramids. Yeah, I must be really stupid because I thought she was around with the pyramids. Literal meaning and origin of country names in Africa. Okay, I'm looking at all of these and my favorite one is probably River of Prawns or River of Rivers. Venus discovered in 1610. Uranus discovered in 1781. Antarctica discovered in 1820. Taxation without representation. You got lucky, traitors. We beat you up. You suck. We know. South America elevation tile map. Dominant eye color. What color are your eyes? My eyes are blue. Poo Poo Creek, Ohio to Poo Poo Point Trail, Washington. It only takes you 36 hours driving. Or 784 hours walking. Size comparison between Chile and Brazil. The original color of the Statue of Liberty was brownish gold and over time it turned green due to oxidation. If all world cop groups unified into new countries, which would be the most stable? I think D. Depends what your definition of stable is. The most photographed places in the world. UK is on fire! Italy? I don't know Italy was that popular. It makes sense. Population of Japan in comparison to US states. Indigenous land, 7088 today. Old growth trees. Damn, this is cool. Surely I can't be the only one. No, you're not. I don't even get this. Be right back, laughing my butt off. The hell is a Texas bender? We bend propane and propane accessories. Kids in 2050 trying to study the 2019 to 2022 chapter of history for a test. America the Beautiful. Weather in America. Tag where you live. I'm in Hurricane Terra, the first and last country to celebrate New Year. All men's Olympic gold medal winners since 2000 in water polo were born in this area. It's gotta be something in the water. Map showing the extent of Earth's ice cap during the last glacial maximum 20,000 years ago. The world map if Australia and Russia swapped places. Typical color of postbox. It's gotta be red. If everyone in the world stood this close together, they would take up this much space. Bro, can I copy your homework? Yeah, sure, just change it a bit so it doesn't look the same. Romanian flag and the Chad flag. Lawful good, neutral good, chaotic good, lawful neutral, true neutral, chaotic neutral, lawful evil, neutral evil, chaotic evil. Which one do you prefer? I just like lawful good. Two maps that will help you understand how the world has changed in just 52 years. More specifically, how the average number of children per family changed. This table lets people from Slovakia, Austria, and Hungary eat lunch together without crossing the border. The perfect dinner. There are only two sexes. Explain this. We've got Essex and Middlesex. And also Sussex. 10 bands of latitude with equal population. 10 bands of longitude with equal population. China's high-speed railway network overlaid on the United States. The 4 seasons on one Finnish island. I wonder if someone lives here. These sexuality gender typed flags are stupid, and apart from the gay one, no one knows/cares what they mean. That's the Welsh flag. Gender of the day, Wales. Japan looks huge if compared with the map of Europe. Before the Colombian interchange, there were no oranges in Florida, no bananas in Ecuador, no potatoes in Ireland, no coffee in Colombia, no pineapples in Hawaii, no tomatoes in Italy, no chocolate? Poor Switzerland. Nice map of US counties. I am being held hostage. 99% of Americans can't name this country. Try it, Americans. I bet you can't. Countries with smaller population than Java. Where is it against the law to play music in a taxi. No awkward silence, right? Let's bond together. Map up the Midwest. Each day, we inch closer to national dominance. Under the ice Antarctica is still peak RPG world design. They don't make them like this anymore. Where would you guys live? I think I would go to the technologically advanced isolationists. I'm not really in the mood for an evil faction or with some dragons. South Africa government says it will print more money and make everyone rich. First time? Global distributions of penguins. Australian. I've lived in Australia my whole life. Australia. Well, that's still living in Australia. The Mediterranean Sea overlaid onto the USA. New US regions just dropped. Dunkin' is in Dunkin' Donut? Or someone pointed out that the UK is an oversized version of the Philippines, and I can't stop thinking about it since. I thought limescale was a mystic concept invented by big businesses to sell more bathroom cleaning supplies. Then I moved to England and discovered this particular boogeyman is very real. That's due to water hardness, as shown below. Yeah, I'm in a hard water area. It is not fun, guys. It is very, very unfun. I always have to wipe down my shower after using it, or the bath. Geographical midpoint of Europe. If you make a physical copy of geometrical figure of Europe, it can be balanced on a needle placed at this point. Most common origin of immigrants in France. What flag is that? The stars. America as seen by Europeans. This is pretty true. I think people more think about New York though, but yeah, Texas as well. No, we actually know geography. I don't know where the states are. I know roughly some states, maybe like 3 or 4. Having a war song about fighting for your country and people. Having a war song about flowers. Having a war song about how you like your onions cooked. How European borders are decided. Those people over there speak my language. Give me that land. Those people over there speak my language. Give me that. Well, I just want to be bigger, so both of you give me it. How the US-Canadian border was decided. 49th parallel. And the UK is actually small. And to me, it feels so big. It's not the only thing. The Milky Way over Easter Island. Okay, I really want to go to Easter Island. I might just do it. I might just go. A graph of America's favorite candies. One more reason to hate Texas. According to dynamical systems, psychiatric disorders can be seen as energy landscapes with peaks and valleys. OCD has steep valleys where neural activity gets stuck, while schizophrenia has shallow valleys that let neural activity roam too freely, connecting unrelated ideas. 1985 versus 2016. It is crazy how quickly we've just kind of developed. We have developed very quick, and it's only going to get quicker. I'm predicting flying cars by 2090. We'll have flying cars. I guess if it's practical enough. 1954. We were just tired of World War II. How could you lose a war against rice farmers despite being one of the biggest colonial powers? 1975. We just left. We didn't lose. Saying the same thing. I just thought it was cool. I found this meme as I was getting a bunch of memes for this video. Guys, it's 1 in 96,000. Oh my god. I've unlocked Golden Italy. How do I go here? I wonder if there's a person in the world who has seen more memes than me. Because I've seen a lot of memes. I'm talking thousands a day. Because I know there are companies which, have meme channels or meme pages. But as an individual, I don't know. How Google Maps sees Japan and how you see Japan. It's a seahorse. I haven't seen a seahorse in real life. I might have at an aquarium. Maybe. Kind of feel bad going to aquariums and zoos. Feel bad for the animals. Unless it's like a rescue center. Cities with population 69,000. Nice in France. If this is true, I will eat my microphone and stop this video.